This is Crime Cruise Love Boat Exposed. Saturday on the Love Boat. The podcast that hunts down and tears apart shenanigans on this classic TV show.
I see an awful lot of bodies who really have nothing to be ashamed of.
When laws, morals, and behavior go rogue.
She's a student of marine biology, and I know a lot of Marines who like to study her biology.
We are there.
Saturday on the Love Boat, Julie's game to join an all-male club, but she's shocked at the things they ask her to do.
Now, from Studio 109, welcome aboard.
I think it's time you and I got to know each other better.
A man gets very lonely at sea.
Yes, I can imagine.
This is Season 2 of Crime Cruise Love Boat Exposed. We're in Season 2 reviewing every single episode of The Love Boat. I'm Rob Springer, your host, and I'm here with co-host
Charlotte Jones.
And also
Producer Caleb. We are back for Season 2.
Season 2 of The Love Boat.
I can't even believe we made it to Season 2.
It's ridiculous.
We only have like 1,800 more to go.
Woo! That's for sure. Love Boat was obviously a success for ABC in the late 70s.
Yep.
So they
also a platform for other shows to get their claws into people and make people interested.
It was a genre leader. It was iconic, and it was so strong that they were like, yes, Season 2, let's roll it. And Season 2 happened, of course, in the fall of...
It happened in between September 16, 1978 to May 12, 1979.
Okay, so we're still in 78, 79.
78, 79, okay.
Yeah.
And we had about 25 episodes in Season 1. This is Episode 1 of Season 2 of The Love Boat, and we are happy to present it to you. How would you explain the show, Charlotte?
I would explain the show as three totally different people watching a sitcom from the 70s and realizing what is literally not allowed these days, and we just tear it apart.
That's right. We're talking about illegal activities.
All the things. But is anything really illegal if you're in international waters?
You always ask that question. You might be right. By whose standards?
Right.
Really?
Like, yeah.
Definitely not the dock standards. That's
no,
for sure.
Of course not. Dock is a nightmare.
I have a feeling that the doc always waits to do his behavior until he's beyond that 3-mile limit.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
International waters.
He's counting. He's
That's
counting
when he
the
attacks.
seconds.
Yeah.
Well, is he still one to watch, Producer Caleb, in Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2? Is he up to hijinks? Do we need to keep a close eye on him, or are others surpassing his behavior?
Oh, you need to keep an eye on Doc this episode, next epised for sure.
All right. Well, I guess that's what we're expecting from Doc.
I wonder how one applies to be a doctor on a cruise ship. I wonder what your credentials have to be.
Well,
I can sleep with every woman? Yeah, I'm perfect for the job. Do you even have to go to school,
though, if you just, are on a cruise ship in international waters and, degrees and things don't matter? What if he's just a rogue person?
Do you remember that episode from last season when he was delivering a baby and everyone was questioning his authenticity?
Right, his ability to, deliver a baby, which is literally, people have been doing that for thousands of years.
Right.
I don't know. I have a feeling someone like Doc was maybe the doctor at the Playboy Mansion back in the day.
He could have been.
And he just wanted to get off the land and hit sea, and he just graduated.
Okay.
And he was the Hugh
Is that
Hefner.
what happens? You graduate from the Playboy Mansion to a cruise ship?
I mean, where else would he have been? No, maybe he slept with someone to get to his job. I don't know, but it's certainly nefarious.
I feel like she was more qualified than he is.
I think she was.
I'm going to spoil these next two episodes, just not just briefly. Doc brings Hugh Hefner's ex-girlfriend on as a nurse.
There we go. Okay.
Right.
Here we go.
You were giving out the energy. All right. With that said, I'm going to click over and we're going to hit the big fat play button for Season 2, Episode 1, Love Boat.
Welcome aboard the Princess. Enjoy your cruise. I hope so. Just leave us there, Douglas.
Oh, yes. Hi. I'm Adam Bricker, your most ardent admirer.
All right, let's hear your scintillating line. You'd like to buy me a drink, then drop down to my cabin for a chaser because you're sure you know me from somewhere. Am I warm?
Not as warm as I am.
Uh-oh.
Will I see you later?
Not if I see you first. How about I help take care of these right away?
Is that Barbie again?
That is Barbi.
It is.
Okay.
Wow.
She's back as a different character this time.
She is back as a different character.
I guess they loved her. And she's very confident. Maybe that's a good sign for Season 2, that we have a confident woman returning the volley very strongly to the dock. I hope this is a good sign for us, that things will get better, from a moral standpoint on the Love Boat and regarding harassment and stuff like that. But you think?
I don't know. He literally just said, I'm warm.
Okay. All right.
Not as warm as I am.
If any dude said that to me, I would literally be out the back door in like 6 seconds.
Yes. Well, it's quite a way to start this,
Yeah.
this season. And we'll go on to the next clip.
Wally, you call this a tequila sunrise? I can mix a better drink with one bottle tied behind my back.
Now look, Isaac.
Mr. Washington.
Would you like me to make another one, sir?
Yeah, let's try and do it till we get it right.
So is Isaac on his own cruise right now? Is he like on a holiday or like a vacation, a break?
He's on holiday and he decided to go back on the cruise and he's being an asshole. Like,
why would you go on a holiday to your workplace? Like, I would literally not ever want to be there.
Why is the question?
Well, even the thing is, like, if I pulled up to like my workplace when I wasn't on shift, I wouldn't be an asshole to everyone.
No,
like,
of course not.
Like, I do it as a joke, but it wouldn't be like, let's make this drink until we get it right. Damn it! Like, that's so disrespectful to your friend.
Yeah.
Wow. I know we don't look at all the 50-something minutes of every episode. Was there something, Producer Caleb, that was a turning point for Isaac?
No. He came on the ship and he disrespected Julie and Doc and Gopher, but they're friends, so I just thought it was a little banter. And then I saw this clip and I was like, oh, he's just being an outright dickhead.
Oh, goodness.
That's not what I wanted to see. I mean, Isaac, he's sort of...
I do love Isaac. He's literally like one of my favorite people on the boat. But I do not understand why he went on vacation to your workplace. Like, this is baffling to me.
Great question.
I would have just had them drop me off at like Ensenada or like Acapulco or something and be like, peace out for a week.
Yeah, good way to say it. I think we're in uncharted territories here.
Oh, I like that you just use uncharted territories. Look at you putting out some puns.
Sure. Okay, everyone's here to watch clips, and I'm going to press that button, and here we go.
A hurricane. Wait till the captain sees this.
Sir, I think Captain Stubing should see this report right away.
Listen, son. You do your job, and I'll do mine. Dismiss.
That's not...
Anything you say, sir.
Where's Captain Stubing?
Oh, excuse me.
Isn't that him?
No.
I seem to be lost. Oh, no. I was just looking for the Lido deck.
Oh, that's very simple. Here, let me draw you a map.
Oh, how thoughtful.
Now, touch glasses. Here we are here. Now, there is the dining room, but it's 2 decks below. Now, there's the companionway that leads to Lido deck. What?
Oh, thank you.
What?
So what I'd like to say, one, Caleb, I'm not sure if you're too young to know this urban legend, but there is an urban legend about a woman with a bow around her neck because if she removed it, her head would fall off. You never heard that? Like that woman literally had a bow around her neck.
I think I've heard something like that as like a Japanese folklore.
Oh yeah,
something.
absolutely, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I've seen like scary movies where there's like a woman with a bow around her neck, like with a ribbon, and like if she removes it, her head falls off.
Well, I'm out of the loop on this one. You two know about that.
Okay.
Was that Mrs. Roper? I'm not even sure.
I can't tell Miss Roper without the moo-moo.
Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. That wasn't our captain, the good captain, Meryl Stubing.
It was not our captain.
Where is he, Producer Caleb? What happened?
He's still on board. I think this other captain is coming on board just to help him out.
But they also literally turned over the hurricane alert notice and drew a map for someone on the piece of paper. I'd be more worried about a hurricane.
He's got it in for Meryl Stubing.
Oh, he probably does.
I don't know where this goes. It's not going to be good. It's off to rough seas, folks. Okay, so where does this episode go? I don't have a clue. Let's find out.
Captain, it's perfect.
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream.
Offer!
How'd you find it, Captain?
I spent some time down this way when I was in the Navy. I was on leave and went exploring.
Just like I remembered.
Oh, Captain!
There's a small group of crew
It
on
has to be one of the most
a jungle
beautiful
island.
spots on the earth.
Yes, and totally uninhabited. Except for some wild peacocks.
Bang, Tansby.
Hey, look! Who was that?
Okay, what did we just see there? How would you explain what the audience was not able to really view if they're listening to the show? Producer Caleb.
We see the main characters, Captain Stubing, Julie, Doc, Gopher, and a bunch of people on vacation. There's like maybe 6 of them. They were on an island at one of the cruise stops, and Captain Stubing was giving them a personal tour of a little island he used to visit when he was in the Navy. And then we cut to a scene where a guy who looks like Tom Hanks in Castaway, and then the Tom Hanks guy just does a runner and he disappears before anyone else could see him.
The dude had a full beard. He's living on the island, isolated, it looks like.
Yep.
This is one of the rare times, maybe the only time, that they let everybody off. On the Pacific Princess, it's typically Puerto Vallarta, I think. But this time they're on a deserted island.
Very like Gilligan's Island sort of feeling, right?
Right, and they never really have done that. I mean, we know Suzanne Summers and her roommate went off on an excursion, but this is as far as they seem to have gone. And for some damn reason, Gopher, Julie, the captain, they're all there. Isaac was not there.
He was not there, but like this is a situation where you don't put all the important people on one boat for an excursion. Like you just don't do that. And I think you're totally right. It is Miss Roper.
Without all the big wig and the moo-moo, like you said.
Yeah.
The big Mario Brothers dude, I think his name is Avery Fisher, and he used to do the original Doritos commercials. He was a character. He was like a big comic character in the 70s, and it looks like they front-loaded this show with a lot of people that were popular at that time.
Well, it's the first episode of season 2. They got to bring out all the big bucks.
And what a treat for the audience to bear witness to our beloved crew on a tropical, deserted island, because anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Okay, let's see if anything does happen. Okay, they're showing Captain Stubing's office with the new captain. Who seems to have taken over for Stubing.
Sir, there's another report about that hurricane. It's still heading this way.
There's always a hurricane headed somewhere, sailor.
But shouldn't we notify Captain Stubing?
What? What for? I'm here. I'll handle it.
I don't trust him.
No, well, what's to trust? He seems to want disaster.
He seems to want everyone to go down in a hurricane.
It's amazing. That is a Dick Martin from Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, and he was a popular comedic talent back in those days too, and he's seeming to be gunning for Captain Meryl Stubing's.
He looks like Captain Meryl Stubing too.
He does.
In a little bit of a weird way.
Yeah. I do like Stubing's voice, though. He doesn't have that.
No, he doesn't.
Stubing talks in a way that's it's very kind of
sing-songy. Yeah.
I'll never forget last season when he said, "Gopher, you're fired."
Mm-hmm. Gopher's never going to get fired.
He's not. He was temporarily fired, but he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'd fire my crew if they joined a cult, like.
Oh well, yeah, of course.
Like so.
Right, and no less the Jan Brady cult.
Right.
Which was, I mean, I guess if you're going to join a cult, it should be with a Brady Bunch character.
Well, probably.
Or a Partridge Family character.
Yeah. Or any other kind of situation.
Yeah.
Or a Manson family character.
All right,
Oh, there we
Producer
go.
Caleb, all right, you always want to push this stuff
Here
too far.
we go.
Just because you're out west doesn't mean you don't.
Just because you're near Cochran Penitentiary, where fucking Charles Manson is.
I'm in Ted Bundy County, so.
Oh, you are in Ted Bundy County. Oh, goodness.
Wouldn't it be something if Producer Caleb was up to hijinks of his own?
He's literally not a serial killer.
I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying he's the
not.
type that people would be like, he was such a good guy. He was quiet.
I'd be on Dateline and I'd be like, Caleb, I never would have thought. Like, I'm in shock. Like, I literally would be like that person on TV that's like, we never thought this would happen.
Little did Charlotte know that producer Caleb
is
was
filleting women at night.
Filleting women. Okay.
I will say on the record, I am not a serial killer.
All right,
you can.
And I will say that serial killers will typically deny that they are too.
Oh, then I guess I am one. I don't know.
Whatever.
Are you driving an 18-wheeler down the freeway? That's all I need to know.
I did feel that when producer Caleb would sit in a chair in our studio, we could keep an eye on him.
We could keep an eye on him. But now he's been on special assignment out west. We have no idea.
I know. Well, his spirit's here.
Oh, spirit's always here.
But is that a good thing?
We'll be right back with more Love Boat Exposed. Go to loveboatexposed.com to send us a message, leave a voicemail, or learn more about the show and our team. Who knows? You might just be invited to the captain's table.
It's a pleasure to welcome you aboard. I'm speaking for my entire crew.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
The launch is gone.
The boat is gone that they took to this little island.
Well, what did that? A shark?
A knife. A shark with a knife? Some madman cut this rope.
I don't see it anywhere, sir.
Well, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. But whatever it is, we're going to do it here.
Look, there he is again. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Anyone remember the last line?
The wild man
gosh.
has come out of the woods with a gun.
How does he have a gun on a deserted island?
There's a lot of questions I have. All right.
I gasped when I first saw that, and like,
How does he have a gun? How do you wash up on shore with a gun?
I don't know. He's like a vagrant sort of Tom Hanks character. That's John Astin from the Addams Family.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, is it?
And also Sean
Astin's
Astin's
father?
father.
Oh, so Patty Duke's son?
No, that was Patty Duke's husband for a while.
Oh,
Because it was
okay.
Patty Duke Astin.
Got it.
And then it went back to Patty Duke. But the little boat that the captain and the team took out to this island for their excursion seems to have vanished. And as you heard, the line was cut. And it's interesting because you mentioned earlier Gilligan's Island.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's sort of in that motif. It seems like there's the two bikini girls.
Oh, of course.
It's as if we're reliving Gilligan's Island with the team from the Love Boat, the crew from the Love Boat.
And I love how the doctor is supposed to be a doctor. And he's like, what are we going to do? Like, figure it out. You're a doctor. Like, figure it out.
And we're also seeing the captain's survival Navy instincts. I don't know who saves the day here. It'll be interesting to watch.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, I will say that when I was watching these two episodes, that Castaway guy, he just looks exactly like Lassiter from Psych. Like, I just couldn't get that image out of my head.
He also kind of looks like the dude from The Big Lebowski.
Oh, he does. He does.
Oh, yeah.
We just need to get him a bathrobe.
Agreed. And he seems friendly, but dangerous at the
He
same
seems
time.
friendly, but like deranged.
He seems like, yeah, unhinged. Like, he's a loose cannon.
Wally.
Hey, getting a little rough out there.
Yeah, I guess it is kind of choppy.
Isaac.
Maybe there's a storm coming up. Listen, I better check with the radio room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Well, Miss Carroll, how about a tall, cool planter's punch?
Sounds good, but I think I'll wait for Mr. Washington.
Why? You think Isaac can make it better than I can?
Nothing he does would surprise me. The man is amazing. Jet pilot, polo player, race car driver, real estate developer,
Magician?
magician.
Well, sure. He'd have to be to do all that on his bartender's salary.
He's what?
Of course, he probably makes a lot more than I do because he's on steady. You know, I'm just taking his place while he has a week off. And then there's tips, which you never really declare 100% to internal revenue.
Liar.
He just got sold out.
Yeah, and then also
Again,
I think...
why do you go on vacation at your workplace when people call you out and say exactly what it is that you do? Like, you don't do that. If you're going to go on vacation and be someone completely different, you go to, like, a different country, or you go to Vegas, or you, like, just lie
I
other
agree.
places.
I mean, that's so true.
Well, if you want to go on a cruise, just do a different cruise. The
Right.
Princess isn't the only one that's there.
No.
And I think it's some comeuppance, I think, because Isaac was such an arsehole to him, and then now he's like,
Oh, yeah.
he's a fraud. He's a liar. Don't trust him.
And the dude that's the replacement bartender has laid Isaac bare.
Yes.
And it's not pretty. I don't know where this goes. I have no idea what the motivation of Isaac is.
I don't either, because that girl was really cute. Like, I think if he had told her the truth, like, she would probably be, like, been okay with it.
Yes.
I can say that the whole reason he lied was to sleep with her.
Oh,
Like,
okay. Well, then dudes
sure.
do that every day. So,
Point.
I mean, I would used to have in LA, like, people give me fake business cards. I mean, they would just print them out and be like, my name is blah, blah, blah. I'm a producer. I'm like, a producer of what?
Well, one thing they did in this scene that's only happens on occasion on the Love Boat is when there's some impact, especially emotional impact, that camera will just go bang, zoom right into the person for their reaction. And in this case, it was Isaac's lady.
Like a soap opera.
And when he said, "Oh, Isaac's a bartender," it just went boom, and you saw her confused, sad, maybe ultimately angry.
She was probably just processing.
She was processing. All right, folks, here we go. Back to the island. They're being held hostage at gunpoint. The crew.
All right, move. Come on, keep walking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep your eye on the road ahead. One false move and you'll all be dead.
Poetic for a killer.
My goodness gracious.
That is Gilligan's Island set.
It has to be.
Yeah. It's one of their huts.
It's so familiar.
Yeah, it's one of the huts from Gilligan's Island. And that's like the Mary Ann motif.
Yes, it is.
Mary
I
Ann.
know it doesn't look like much, but I did it without a decorator.
They've been locked in a hut.
And I love how they're all in like solid white clothing and no one is dirty yet.
No one's dirty.
Because I would be.
Well, they were being pushed through the jungle with the dude with the rifle.
Yeah.
They're hostages. They're prisoners now.
They are prisoners.
And you've got a hurricane bearing down. It seems that our beloved, I'll just say it, beloved, crew is getting hit from all directions. On the ship, someone's gunning for the captain's job. On the island, there literally is a gun that's pointed at the captain and the rest of his underlings. So
Slightly overwhelming for everybody.
I could smell a cliffhanger coming up.
I do too.
Okay, we'll just keep moving, folks.
Maybe we can lure him into opening the door.
Good idea. We'll use one of the ladies. Someone seductive.
Captain, would you like me to try?
I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, first of all, no Julie, because we have a literal Playboy playmate on the boat. We're going to use her. We're going to use her to be the seductive tool.
Tomboy Julie.
Yes.
Who's dressed very conservatively, by the way, too. I've never seen Julie so dressed up, especially for an excursion in the jungle.
Right.
I don't get it.
No, if I needed persuasion, I would throw Barbi Benton in front of anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, immediately. Like
Yeah.
100%. But I love how it was like, we have to use a girl.
Thoughts, producer Caleb?
I just think it's such a weird storyline throughout this season and last season with Julie like wanting to be known as this really sexual and like sexual person when it doesn't make any sense to me because she's such a power girl. Like it comes out of nowhere every time. She's like, oh well, if you guys need a really hot, sexy babe, I guess I could come fill in for it. Like it just comes out of nowhere and it's always so strange because like you said, there's literally a ex-Playboy lady just like right next to her, and Julie's like, oh, I guess I'm the hottest one here, so.
Well, Julie's still feeling around out there in the world, it seems. I mean, at the end of last season, she threw herself at the dock.
I
It's
know.
like, Doc, why don't you want to screw me?
Which really confused me.
I'm really confused. I'm still trying to get past that, really. I will say something that I'd mentioned when we were just rolling the clip, that they clearly are using sets from Gilligan's Island.
Clearly.
Which is kind of cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as we near the end of this show.
The one I really think is seductive is the little old lady. That young skinny one doesn't do a thing for me.
Wow. That's Julie.
Are you game?
Why not? Seductive.
Mrs. Roper's going for it.
Mr. Baby Cake. Guess what?
What?
I'm naked in here.
Really?
The dude is licking his chops.
Can the others see you?
No, they're asleep.
Really?
That's right. They're exhausted.
Isn't this fun?
What the?
He kind of reminds me of like Howard Hughes kind of a little bit.
I'm getting worse and worse in terms of
Well,
confusion.
I feel kind of bad for Julie because she was literally like really disappointed that like she wasn't the one that was chosen.
They showed her face when he's like, I don't
really
like this.
upset.
He's like, the dude's like, the vagrant dude with the gun. He's like, I don't want that skinny one. And they just did a close up of Julie and she was so sad.
She was so sad about it.
She's always sad when she gets turned down. Like, what does she expect?
I don't know.
Really?
Like she really
'Cause
wanted
she was-
to give it up to get everybody off the island, I guess.
She wanted to sacrifice herself. Selfless lady. And Mrs. Roper, Audrey Lindley from the Ropers, sort of put her best sex face on.
She did. She 100% did. I guarantee you she's only like 38 years old in this episode. Like, I mean...
When the episode first started and she came on board, I was like, is this story going to be like this young lady is pretending to be an old one? Because she doesn't look that old. I was a little confused, but then they kept playing the old lady character, and so I was like, I guess she's playing an oldie. Like, she looks young.
And it was rather forward, all of this stuff, if we looked at them in today's culture. And that's been wrong on every level, that last scene.
Yep.
She's just ready to, she's ready to give herself up, like, gladly. And the guy's just making jokes and he's ready to, I don't know, it seems like he's ready to take advantage of her.
Well, of course, that's his whole motive.
Yeah, damn it. Damn it all.
And he was also being a little jealous. Like, can other people see you naked? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, I just met you.
Who wrote this script?
Like, who cares?
You're the first woman I've seen in 20 odd years.
Right.
Is anyone else looking? Like,
when he said
on.
that,
like, why the jealousy all of a sudden?
When he said, "Can anyone else see you naked?" I did not know where he was leading the conversation with that. I was thinking maybe he was going to ask them to describe her, which would have been just equally weird.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's all strange. It's stomach turning. All right, here we go.
Why don't you wise up and ask me why I captured you?
All right. Why did you capture us?
Because I've lived here all by myself for 21 years, and I've been happy as a clam, except for one thing. Never, ever in my whole life have I had a surprise birthday party.
You kidnapped us so you could have a birthday party?
A surprise birthday party.
Well, that's a good reason to kidnap people.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, right?
Right.
Like, I would like a surprise birthday party.
You just had a birthday party, by the way.
I did have I just...
Was it a surprise?
It was not a surprise. I planned the whole thing.
All right.
Because I'm a planner. And, you know, I actually...
well, I guess
I actually wouldn't like a surprise. It would freak me out.
I mean, I guess you could plan your own surprise party like this nut job is trying to do.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move to an island and get a gun and just start kidnapping people.
Perfect. That sounds amazing.
And then I'll start a cult, too, at the same time.
Oh, great.
I mean, the show is usually far-fetched. This one is just off the hook with this.
That's what I was saying, like, before we started recording. I was like, I feel like the writers of this episode were on something, because this is such, like, a wacky episode for Lovebird, and Lovebird is a wacky series, but this is just something else.
Well, it's 1978. I'm sure there was some acid involved somewhere.
I wouldn't doubt it. Like,
Yeah.
I will say, before we move on to the next clip, this one isn't a morally questioning whatever. I catch one of the characters break character, and I just wanted to highlight it.
Okay.
That has not happened
That
yet.
has not happened. Let's watch it.
No.
Thank you for that little Easter egg of information.
Yeah, I like an Easter egg.
Okay. Forget the funny hatch.
Julie,
she was like pissing herself. She was laughing her ass off.
We're going to roll it again, and we're going to describe what we see.
Okay. Forget the funny hatch.
She has the biggest smile.
She does.
She's covering her face.
Yep.
She's like, she is gone. She's out of character right now.
Yeah,
I'm
she
just
is.
going to say it. Julie is adorable.
Julie is adorable.
Yeah, I'm glad she's on the show.
Yeah, she makes me happy.
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Aren't you going to put out to sea? We can't let that hurricane catch us at anchor. We have 600 passengers on board. I know that Captain Stubing would want us to think of them first.
Us? Who's us? If it's any of your business, I was just about to make my decision when you came barging in here.
Captain Stubing thought he had a better chance of outrunning the storm in the open sea. He had us underway in 5 minutes.
Well, he has his way of doing things. I have mine. 5 minutes. Hello, Bridge. This is Deputy Captain Cunningham. Weigh anchor. We sail in 30 seconds.
Again, why you don't go on a cruise at your workplace when you're on vacation, because then all of a sudden you start working, which is what Isaac is doing.
He's saving lives, though, ultimately.
Oh,
Maybe
600
that's
people.
the redemption for Isaac in this.
Okay. Well, I hope that girl realizes that.
I guess, but she's, kind of screwed over by him in a sense. He's playing hero right now.
He is
so
playing hero.
We will give him that.
Yeah. And he looks good in that suit, too.
He does. Get him out of that bartender thing from time to time.
Mara, it's me, Isaac. Your man of the hour.
Come in.
Don't say a word. Just stand there and let me drink in your beauty.
Mr. Washington, the real estate operator, the polo player, the jet pilot, the bartender.
Ooh.
Bartender.
You're a big phony just like all the rest of them.
Mara. Now look, I was, just play acting, you know. Little innocent make believe.
Make believe?
Yeah.
Really? Well then, make believe this isn't a book.
Mara, wait a minute.
Make believe this isn't real estate.
Come on,
Make believe that this isn't a book.
Oh, wow.
People throwing stuff.
Yeah, he got ousted from the room. Producer Caleb, I know you were looking up some cast before. Can you tell me who's playing the woman? She's a well-known actress, I think, from the 70s, and she is angry.
Oh, she's very angry.
It looks like her name is Lola Falana.
Lola Falana. A performer on stage and screen, so she was a big deal.
Well, she has a fantastic name. I wish my name was Lola Falana.
Yeah. Crazy.
That is a cool name.
But I also want to just point out before we end this episode that I don't like how he was like, don't say a word. Like, we're just supposed to sit there and look pretty.
Yeah, Isaac may have saved 600 lives on this episode.
But he just lost one. Yeah, he did.
And it's not pretty.
Well, as I mentioned before, right before we wrap up, this is a two-parter. Okay. So we will see the conclusion to mostly all of these storylines, I believe, and a new one in the next episode next week.
Okay.
Where does this all end? How did it go? But that is correct. Let's hang on till next week's episode.
Yep.
Could anyone be killed? There's one question I would have.
Well, I just don't know how those people are going to get off the island.
I know. It's a great question.
They have no boat.
And what happens with the hurricane? There's a hurricane coming.
There's a hurricane coming.
I do know, I can say at the end of this episode, the hurricane does hit, and that's when the story ends.
Oh.
So we don't see the damage of the hurricane, how the boat's affected. We don't see anything. But
well, of course, that would cost too much.
The cruise is gone. The cruise ship is gone. Their boat is gone, and they're stuck on this island with a madman with a gun.
Wow.
Oh, gosh.
Huge
This sounds like my last weekend.
All right. What can elaborate? Oh, never mind. Never mind. We have to cut a lot of stuff out, I bet. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us for Season 2 of The Love Boat, Episode 1. It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger.
What a way to start our first season, the second season.
Producer Caleb, you have this sign-off line that you do so well.
Like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we will see you on the cruise next week.
Yay! We're sailing away, but we will be back with a new episode of Crime Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Make sure to subscribe. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms. And connect with us at loveboatexposed.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but I have duties on the bridge. Good evening.